Hi everybody, thank you for joining me for today's video. My name is David, and I've been making a lot of videos about people that are toxic and their behaviors. I've made a lot of videos about narcissists and borderlines, and I'm making more videos about people with borderline personality disorder due to your guys' requests. So here's another one. This is about the rage that people have with borderline personality disorder. Lots of anger, and I have to tell you that this doesn't apply to everyone with borderline personality disorder. I know I'm going to get inundated with people with this disorder saying, David, I'm not angry. I'm a quiet, silent borderline that never gets angry, never has emotional outbursts. Not me. Okay, you don't need to tell me. I don't know you. I'm not saying everyone, right? The quiet borderline terms like this are merely subtypes, not diagnostic things. They're subtypes that people notice and traits and stuff. Uncontrollable anger is a diagnostic trait in people with borderline personality disorder. And that does not mean that everyone with the disorder has to have this uncontrollable rage, anger. But most do. Most do. This is why people will label and call people with borderline personality disorder crazy. One is they may have delusional thinking and tell you what just happened yesterday totally didn't happen. And then the other is their rage, their anger, their violence. First of all, I want to say that anger, the emotion, is not bad. We cannot be ashamed and feel guilty and hate our emotions. We process them and express them in healthy ways. What it can be bad about anger is the way that people express it. We cannot yell, scream, hit, throw things, bang things, get in people's space, threaten them, things like this. Inappropriate, uncalled for. And typically people with this disorder have lots of inappropriate behavior. So anger is a normal response. It's our brain's normal response to some things. One would be rejection. Betrayal. It's to keep us protected and alive. That's what our brain does. So it's not a bad thing to get angry. We could not want to about things and start having better reactions, but really, as far as our health and people around us, it's the way that we respond and react to it. So even though it's a normal brain response, there are specific personality traits that can make this worse. Narcissism. Borderline's rage would be narcissistic rage, wouldn't it? But such as competitiveness, low tolerance of frustration, the pre-anger state, which would be levels of anxiety and exhaustion. I used an example before and I'm going to use it again. Helen Keller, for those of you who don't know who that is, person in history that was born deaf, dumb, and blind. Can't talk, can't see, can't hear. She was, at one point in her life, extremely angry and violent. Her frustration due to can't communicate and lack of self-reliance. Extremely common with people with borderline personality disorder. It's hard to communicate because they lack self-awareness. The biggest reason I want to communicate is to feel better, get what I want, what I need, things like this. If I can't, I may not be able to get what I need, what I want. Frustrating. Yeah? Temper tantrums, talked about this before, just want to briefly touch on it. Temper tantrums as children need to be stopped. They need to be stopped by age 4 before we send them off into society, kindergarten, so they can get along with their peers, learn how to be agreeable. If this behavior isn't stopped, typically by 7 or 8, it may never stop. They may be angry and have anger outbursts their entire life. Big problem with people with this disorder is self-regulating. Normal response is anger, can't regulate my emotions, unstable self-awareness, results in impulsive behaviors and actions. What is the cause of this BPD rage? These events they have. What causes this? They're trigger events. Something that triggers them from maybe a past experience over and over again. Not learning that this is wrong and bad and inappropriate and unacceptable has a conditioned response and cycle over and over and over again. It's a learned response to express anger and becomes normal, becomes cyclical. Their perception can be skewed. People with borderline personality disorder sometimes doesn't have a very good perception of what's going on. Maybe none of us have perfect perception, but theirs could be skewed. They are the unhealed victim, trying to protect themselves, don't know how. This anger outburst has a rush of stress chemicals. They can get a high from releasing this. Some people that have anger outbursts can be addicted to this cycle. This rush of stress chemicals is very unhealthy to your physical body, can cause disease. This damages part of the brain associated with judgment and short-term memory. Now, when people have an anger outburst and rage and break things and yell at you, and we hear this in people that are like narcissistic, borderlines, next day act like nothing happened. You wonder if they can remember. So part of their short-term memory is affected. They also believe it's okay. This has been acceptable behavior for their entire life. A cycle of hormones. This can cause dissociation. Dissociating, a safety mechanism where our nervous system goes offline because something is too much for us to handle, to keep us safe. The anger that they have is too much for them to handle, and they can slip into a dissociative state. They can slip into psychosis. You guys ask me, why do their eyes turn black? Their pupils are so dilated. That's why. Their eyes are solid pupils. Danger, danger, looking for danger. All those stress chemicals working at 100% to keep them safe, to fight the danger, to run. And this behavior, if accepted, they will use to get what they want. They will learn what your reaction to this is and keep doing it. They may get what they want so much, they fake it. I've seen people with this disorder have rage events, and then because of your reaction to it, they fake it. You can tell by their pupils. If they're solid black, it's real. If they're not, they might be faking it. This is damaging to themselves and to every single person around this. We cannot be around this. This cannot be accepted at all. This anger in people with this disorder will feel slighted. They'll be hypervigilant. They are the unhealed victim. They have perpetrators in their experiences. And it's not hard for you to become that perpetrator like that just because they misunderstood you. This is the person that seeks revenge. These are often a lot of people you see online with smear campaigns. Instability. Unstable people are extremely dangerous. I hear all the time, borderlines are sweet, nice, caring, loving. Yes, they can be. People are multifaceted. We don't get into relationships with people because they're so awful right from the beginning. I'm almost 6 feet, 200 pounds. I'm scared to death of a 5'2", 90-pound woman with borderline personality disorder that loses her shit. Extremely dangerous, extremely scary. And her perception of what happened is delusional. they can really believe you did this to them, you did something to them. Dangerous, guys. Let me know if you can. I just love your guys' examples of your experiences. If you feel comfortable sharing, I really appreciate it. And I know many other people, hundreds of people do that read your comments. Most people don't feel comfortable for whatever reason not commenting, but they do read them. They do read them and they really help. They help people just to feel validated, understood, not alone. So I really appreciate your examples. Thank you. And ask me questions always, everybody. Always, I'll always answer them. And love yourself first. I'll see you again later. Bye.